Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating piece of work titled The Wait is Over. And honestly, it's going to challenge one of the most fundamental ways we measure a successful life. Think about it. We spend so much time tracking our income, our expenses, our stock portfolios. But what if we've been looking at the wrong balance sheet this entire time? What if the ultimate currency literally isn't money, but minutes? We're exploring a massive philosophical and economic paradigm shift proposed by the insightful author, Oluyomi Oladide. She brings forward a totally compelling argument that asks us to completely rethink human well-being. She wants us to shift our focus away from just the cash we make and turn our attention towards something much more finite and probably much more valuable.
Okay, let's dive into this. For decades now, the absolute gold standard for measuring well-being globally has been the income approach. We usually measure a person's or even a whole nation's health and happiness by the amount of money flowing in. Makes sense, right? But Oluyomi Oladide introduces a radical alternative, the time use approach. She argues that this time use approach to studying human well-being is just a much more wholesome, complete paradigm. And why is that? Well, because while income can fluctuate, be generated out of thin air, or be completely lost, time is the absolute equalizer. She's really challenging the status quo here, asking us to recognize that the way we spend our minutes and hours is a far more accurate, holistic indicator of our true well-being than just peeking at our bank accounts.
Consider the really profound idea that time is an endowment. She writes that if we view time as a gift for which we must give an account, we might entirely reconsider how we use it. That is a heavy, incredibly powerful concept. You know, an endowment isn't just something you happen to have lying around. It's a gift that has been specifically entrusted to you. And with that kind of gift comes accountability. She's urging us to look at the ticking clock not as some constant stressor, but almost like an endowed gift box we get to open every single day. If we truly grasp that we have to answer for how we spend the contents of that box, our entire approach to daily life might just radically transform.
Now, she doesn't just leave this as some lofty, abstract philosophical concept. She actually maps out how these time use patterns trigger real cascading effects in hard economic reality. She states, quite clearly actually, that the way we use our time actively predicts labor market outcomes. And on top of that, it predicts lifetime income. So the crucial point to take away here is that time and income are not disconnected concepts in her framework. In fact, time is the foundational layer. If you want to understand someone's future economic stability or their lifetime earning potential, she suggests you shouldn't just look at their current salary, you really need to look at their time use patterns. Literally, how you spend your time today is writing the script for your economic reality tomorrow.
Building directly on that economic link, she introduces a really interesting specific framework, search theory. She tags this right alongside discussions of economics and poverty. So in economic terms, search theory often deals with the time and effort it takes for a worker to find a job, or say a consumer to find a product. Just think about it. If your time is entirely consumed by working 3 jobs just to survive, you literally have 0 hours left to search for a better opportunity, or write a resume, or learn a new skill. Time poverty creates this vicious trap that keeps you financially impoverished. She's using this theory to show us that time poverty is absolutely just as critical, if not way more so than financial poverty.
So, what exactly dictates how our time diaries actually look? Why do we spend our hours the way we do? I mean, they aren't just created in a vacuum. She identifies 2 major influences that are quietly writing our schedules behind the scenes: cultural orientation and lifestyle preferences. We don't just wake up and make purely objective, robotic choices about our hours. The culture we're raised in, what it values, what it celebrates, what it demands of us, heavily influences how we allocate our time. And coupled with that are our own personal lifestyle preferences. She points out that if we really want to understand human well-being, we have to look closely at these cultural and lifestyle drivers that are secretly dictating our days.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the woman behind these transformative ideas. Oluyomi Oladide isn't just making casual armchair observations. She positions her work squarely in the realm of generating real-world solutions, influencing policy and strategy, and providing much-needed clarity. Her goal is to actively shape how leaders and policymakers approach global development. By shifting the lens from pure income over to time use, she's actually providing a brand new toolkit for strategy. She wants her insights to create real, tangible change in how we structure society so we can better support actual human well-being.
To really understand her work, though, you have to understand what personally drives her. She writes, "I am a Nigerian and I love people. I am concerned about global development and transformation." But it's this final part of her thought that provides the true foundation for that earlier point about time being an endowment. She states, "My Father God owns and rules the universe. He is the wheel within my wheels." This deep, personal faith clearly drives her entire holistic worldview. For her, time isn't just a cold economic resource, it's a divine gift. That accountability she spoke of earlier, it's deeply rooted in this exact belief. Her cultural heritage as a Nigerian and her profound faith are literally the engines, the wheels within her wheels, driving her passion for global transformation.
We've covered a lot of ground in this explainer today, shifting from traditional income metrics to the profound economics of the time diary, but I really want to leave you with the very question her work forces all of us to ask ourselves. If time is indeed an endowment, a precious gift for which you must give an account, how will you reconsider your use of it? Think about it. We all have the exact same 24 hours in our gift box today. How are your cultural orientations and lifestyle preferences influencing your time diary right this second? Are your time use patterns predicting the future you actually want? Take a moment today to reflect on your own time ledger. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this sparks a brand new way of looking at the wealth of time you hold in your hands.